of free throws with only 10 attempts in their 3 games against the Nuggets. Frank Vogel told reporters, quote, "We're dealing with the fouls through the proper channels with the league. I think he's gone to the basket very aggressively, and I'll just leave it at that." So, Shannon, you know, yesterday you bet Skip that LeBron and AD will combine for 70-plus points tonight. So what exactly do you expect from the Lakers? Game 4.
I expect the intensity to be like it was in the fourth quarter for the entirety of the game. They know what they're up against, and what they need to do is to make sure this giant blaze, this little smoldering doesn't become a giant blaze. Because as they go further along, and that's what happened in Utah, that's what happened against the Clippers, they gain more and more confidence. They're like, hold on, we beat them. Oh, we beat them again. Oh, we beat them again. And the next thing you know, you're in Game 7, and anything can happen in a Game 7. So I expect the Lakers to come out and play with the intensity that they played in Games 2 through 5 against the Trailblazers, also against the Rockets. Skip, it's unacceptable for the Lakers to lose the rebounding battle by 17. The Lakers are the biggest team in basketball. When you consider they have AD at 6'10", Dwight Howard at 6'10", 6'10 and a half, and you have 7-foot-tall JaVale, and you have 6'8" and a half, 6'9" LeBron James, there's no way. I understand if you lose the rebounding battle by 1 or 2. That happens. But you can't lose it by 19. Not against that team, because they shoot the ball entirely too well. They drive the ball entirely too well. And you haven't done your job if you force a bad shot. You've done your job when you force a bad shot and you secure the rebound.
And by the way, lowest rebound total for the Lakers in any regular or playoff game, regular season or playoff, since 2006.
Yes, they tied it.
Yeah.
In '94, in '92 they had 25. They had 24 in the game. So they tied it in 2000. Let that sink in for a second, Skip. With those big guys out there, that's unacceptable.
Help me out on the totals again. AD had 2, JaVale had 1, Dwight had 1.
Yes.
4 rebounds.
4.
For 3 bigs.
Bigs.
Right?
Big bigs.
Yes.
Dwight Howard is a double-double for a career. Anthony Davis, if I'm not mistaken, is a double-double for a career. And JaVale, that's what he's there for, to block shots and to rebound.
He starts.
Yes. Yes. So I expect them to play better. And, Skip, the reason why I said the AD and LeBron need to have 70, because I'm not sure where that third was going to come from. So it's revolving. Sometimes it's Caruso, sometimes it's Rondo, sometimes it's Kuzma. Keith has been known to have a game here or there, but that's not what we can really count on. The one thing we should always be able to hang our hats on is AD and LeBron going bonkers. And I expect them to be aggressive. I expect AD to play better. Skip, it's not that he played bad, but when you look at his stat line, 27, 2, and 1, the 2 is unacceptable.
Yep.
So you're going to have 27. You need to give me 15 rebounds, because you can't let Joker and you can't let all these second chance get these second cracks at you. So that's what I'm expecting. I expect him to be more aggressive. And, Skip, look, LeBron James is driving the ball 12 times a game. He averaged 13 times in the first 2 series. He shot 8 free throws a game in the first 2 series. He's shooting 3 free throws a game in this one. Driving the ball 1 fewer time.
And in Game 3, he took 2 free throws off a flagrant foul.
Let that sink in for just a second. Now, you say you want to see it. He's straight training. He's doing exactly what Skip Bayless has always implored LeBron James to do. Drive the basketball. He's drive the basketball, but for some reason, they're swallowing the whistles. But every time I turn around, I see Jokic at the foul line. I see Jeremy Grant at the foul line. I see Jamal Murray at the foul line. I see all of those guys at the foul line. But for some reason, the greatest driver of the basketball is not at the foul line. As Frankie V said, we're going through the proper channels. I'm not going to say what we aren't doing, but let's just say we put it out there.
They officially presented their case to the league.
Yes, yes. And so we want some of these calls that y'all been giving them. With that being said, Skip, I expect the Lakers to come out, dominate this game early, and win this ball game.
By what?
The Nuggets always make runs at the end. I'm going to say they win by 6.
By 6. And you have LeBron and AD, because we have another case of Deuce on this, going for 70-plus combined.
Yes.
How would that approximately break down? Would it be 35 and 35, or would LeBron get 40?
It might be 40-30 AD. It might be 40-30 Bron.
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
More likely to be 40-30 Bron?
Probably AD, because I think they're going to try to get. Yeah, probably. I think
yesterday you were more heavy on Bron.
I think LeBron is going to always try to get AD going, because he knows he can get whatever he wants whenever he wants.
That's a lot of points.
There ain't a lot of points. Not for them two.
Okay. I hear everything you just said, and I don't have big quibble with anything you just said, except I do have some perspective on those free throws that the Lakers are complaining to the league about. So I spent last night doing two things, watching my hero and struggling with an internal battle of head versus heart over Lakers Nuggets tonight. Because my heart keeps saying, come on, Nuggets, put them on the hot seat. I just want to see this go 2-2 and see how LeBron, AD, and the rest, and Frankie V, see how they react under real fire, true Western Conference playoff fire. I would just love to see the drama, the theater of that in a Game 5. But my head keeps saying, no, no, no. The Lakers are just better. My head keeps reminding me that in the fourth quarter of Game 3, from the 10-minute mark down to the 5-minute mark, your team went on a 21-4 run. The Lakers actually became the Nuggets in that game and did what the Nuggets did often to the Clippers and obviously to the Jazz. And 21-4 is hard to do in a 5-minute stretch of the fourth quarter. 21-4, and your man had 11 of those points, and it started with the 3 that seemed inconsequential at that moment. Right. But then he goes break dunk, break dunk, break dunk, and that was electrifying LeBron at his most impactful. Where for that stretch he took that game over, and I believe he hit the wall a little bit physically because how old is he? 35. I believe a 25-year-old, I believe an 18-year-old would have hit the wall because it was such an explosion of energy that I think his legs weren't quite underneath him when he took the 3 to tie and he missed it wide left, and that seemed to be kind of psychologically the end of them. But they did do that, and they walked away from that game saying, we did do that. We had them effectively on the ropes at 101-98. We cut it all the way.
And they might have discovered something, Skip. You remember in the game, and what was it, 2015, the year before? It was Golden State that stumbled upon a lineup and a defense that gave them problems, although they lost the game.
They did.
They stumbled upon something. So Frankie V might have stumbled upon something.
Stumbled upon a zone defense featuring Rondo kind of at the point of the defense, just disrupting every dribble and every pass. And in that 5-minute stretch, it felt like Rondo took over defensively. At 6 feet, what is he, 1 maybe, 6'1"? Okay, I get all of the above. But one other head point that sticks in my craw, I'm going to bring this up again because I think it's significant. My Clippers against the Nuggets were routinely an 8.5-point favorite through 6 games. Then Game 7, they dropped to 7-point favorites because I think the odds makers finally said, okay, we got to give some respect to this other team. But they're not giving the Lakers the kind of respect that they were giving the Clippers against the Nuggets because the Lakers keep being 6-point favorites, and you say, oh, that's not that big a discrepancy, but it is, from 8.5 to 6.
Skip, I think the thing is they looked at the way the Nuggets played against Utah.
Okay, you can argue it's just more respect to the Nuggets than it's disrespect.
After what they did to the Clippers, they're like, we really need to pay these guys some respect.
Okay, but they're not saying that the Lakers are dominant in this series. They're not showing you that this is up close to a double-digit spread. They keep saying tonight is a 6-point game, which says, okay, this team's a little better, but it's not significantly better. So I keep hanging on to that a little bit. Now let's go to the free throws. Okay, for the